In the arena of survival, there is one rule: win. Not for honor, not for glory, but for life itself. This is the story of a man who forgot that rule. A man who had victory in his grasp and let it slip through his fingers like sand. This is the story of player 456, Gi-hun, a loser. He entered the games a gambling addict, a deadbeat father, a man already at the bottom. But the games gave him a chance to climb out of the gutter, to be a winner. And for a moment, he was. He outsmarted, outlasted, and outlived them all. He stood on the top of the mountain of cash, the sole survivor. But victory is a heavy crown for a weak man. Haunted by ghosts of his own making, he turned his back on his winnings, on the new life he could have built for his daughter. He chose vengeance, a foolish, arrogant quest to burn it all down. He returned to the very pit he escaped, but he was not the same man. The fire in his eyes was replaced by the vacant stare of trauma. Guilt had rotted him from the inside. We saw it when he turned on his own, when he strangled a man he once called a friend. His hands shaking not with fear, but with a chilling personal rage. He projected his own failures, his own weakness onto others, and called it justice. His journey back into the game was not a hero's march. It was a descent into madness. He lost sight of the prize, blinded by a misguided need to be a savior in a place that has no saviors. And it all led to one final, pathetic choice. High atop a stone tower, the finish line in sight, the last obstacle between him and a life of unimaginable wealth was not a monster, not a killer, but a helpless infant, a baby. The game, in its infinite brutal wisdom, presented him with the ultimate test of his will to survive. Did he do what was necessary? Did he remember the first rule? No. He looked at the child, the symbol of a future he could claim, and he saw only the past. He saw his own failures as a father. He saw the faces of the dead he couldn't save. He was trapped in a prison of his own sentimentality. He stood at the edge, a broken man whispering to the wind. "We are humans," he muttered, as if trying to convince himself. "Not horses." But he was wrong. In that arena, they were all horses on a track, running a race for the amusement of the gods. The only difference is that horses don't get a choice. Gi-hun did. He chose to lose. He leaned back and fell into the abyss, a final futile gesture, an act he might have seen as a noble sacrifice. But what was it really? Cowardice. He couldn't live with his choices, so he chose to make none at all. He didn't die a hero. He died a man who gave up. Player 456, eliminated by his own hand. He didn't lose the game, he threw it away. And in the end, that is the most unforgivable way to lose.